Brakatia Howell, Brakatia Rashad, Brakatia Howell, Brakatia Rashad, Brakatia Howell, Brakatia Howell, Bashim Yahushua, Bahashim, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled Be on Top of the Truth, Your Health, Your Finances, Your Family, right? And what inspired me to do this lesson is, the things that I've mentioned a lot of times is what hinders brothers in this world that we in, right? Struggling making your videos, struggling with your health, struggling with your pockets, and having trouble at home. So I want to say this: we we have to sort of deviate from. We're under the curses, but we should not use that as a cope or a way to circumvent trying to come up with solutions for these issues that we have in the world, right? So, for example, let's do with the whole. Let's start off with the health thing, right? You know, just because Ezekiel the fourth chapter says that we're gonna eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, shouldn't give you a license to just say fuck it, everything is defiled. I'm gonna eat whatever, right? And then, you're struggling with health problems, and what does Jake do? Continue eating the bullshit. Well, it's the curses, brother. Or, I have no choice. When really you do have a choice. Esau's not fucking forcing a Twinkie down your mouth, right? So it's things like that, And why am I doing this lesson? Because at the end of the day, brothers, this thing is about being leaders and rulers and governors. And if you can't govern the simplest things is what you consume, how the fuck do you expect to govern a nation of people, right? So I'm going to read this. Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Right. So that ruling the spirit part, you could go into different interpretations here of the scriptures, and let me see. Or let's go compare, right? So instead of the KJV, I think this one right here, a lot of it goes into temper, but there's one of them. Oh, I like this one. UDB, right? It says the one who is slow to get angry is stronger than a warrior, because it's true, to control your spirit. The one who is self-controlled is mightier than the one who conquers a city by force, which is, much easier to do. Not easier to do. Well, put it like this: you're more likely to come across a soldier that takes a city than a man that has self-discipline of a spirit, right? And as you can see the quote above from Cicero, fewer men are found who conquer their own lusts than one that overcome the armies of the enemies. And so that's Cicero, or so this is straight out the scriptures, though, interpreting that scripture. That's what they got there. But I went to the commentary. So yeah, brothers, to overcome the battles with, let's say, for example, doing your lesson, right? You find out when it's time to put together your lessons, that's when the most distractions enter your mind, right? Whether it's a distraction to consuming whatever lust you might have. Some brothers might video games, sports. You might get distracted with women. Might get distracted with pornography or what have you, right? You have to have the self-discipline and control to say, no, I have to get these lessons done. You see, that's why this thing, honestly, this whole being in this true thing, really, first and foremost, comes down to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but a lot of it comes down to discipline. Motivation is I don't even consider motivation. The thing with motivation is a feeling, right? And feelings could come and go and fluctuate. But if you are disciplined in this thing, if you tell yourself, look, I have to do my lesson, no matter what, I have to get these 3 minimum done per week, no matter how the fuck I feel, you get it done that way. You see? Lord willing. If you tell yourself, okay, I'm overweight right now, I have to go in the gym this certain amount of days, I have to consume this amount of food, then you will get it done. If you keep running into financial woes, you're not getting a 9 to 5. You're not putting out your resume. You're not doing things to get yourself out the jam. But guess what? You have 1,000,001 excuses for every fucking problem. And the problem is this, like, okay, we're in Babylon, we sighing and crying. Okay, you have the right to vent. Now, where are the solutions? A lot of times brothers vent their problems, but you don't hear no solutions after. Where are the solutions? So, as a king, as a governor, you have to come up with ways to navigate your problems. Okay? You have to come out with a way to navigate your problems and go through the fire on your own. Certain trials you have to go through on your own. The brotherhood is there, but there's certain things Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wants us to go through on our own, for lack of a better term. Okay? When I say on your own, I don't mean without the Lord. Of course, the Lord, praying for wisdom to guide you through the situation, but to see how well you could govern the situation. All right? The family aspects. Okay? You might be going through something. I give you a good example, right? The woman is giving you hell. Your woman is giving you hell. All right? You don't have no kids with her. You're not married to her. Brother, why the fuck you still, why is she giving you hell? You allowing it to happen. You allowing this woman to remain in your life. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, if I'm going through something, whether it be the truth, whether it be my health, whether it be my finances, or whether it be my family, I have to, as a king, as a future king, Lord willing, come up with a way to govern and solve this solution as a man. Okay? Scripture says, so show yourselves men. And that's a part of growing in this thing. This thing is not just about going there on Saturdays and calling the white man the devil. This thing is about growth. I could confidently say that now with my time in the truth, okay? I've said it before, but now like truly like experiencing it, like doing this thing over and over, it's heavy, this thing is about growth, man. You have to grow in many aspects in the way you govern your life in this world that we in, okay? Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit, right? Lacking self-control, lacking self-discipline. Okay? It's like a city that is broken down and without walls. It's problems left and right, but you as a man, you're not coming up with solutions to cope, not to cope, coming up with solutions to solve it. You could ask, what the brotherhood is good for too? A lot of brothers is going through what you go through, so we have to communicate and talk with one another. A lot of brothers have dealt with baby mama dramas, family issues, okay, rent issues, the sluggish demon concerning the shows, and that's really a lot of our problems. Okay, we can't be reactive to them. We have to be proactive with them, right? The scriptures talk about foreseeing the evil. Right, being proactive with some of the things that we're going through in this world, and learn how to govern it and come up with solutions for it. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18 says, "By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of hands the house droppeth through." And that house represents all that we just mentioned. Whatever aspects, because you're the house. Most I said we're the building. Whatever you put, whatever's fucking with the temple, if you're not proactive in trying to come up with solutions to govern that, everything's gonna fuck up. Again, whether it's you're gonna be in more worse financial woes. Your health is gonna fuck up even more. Situation's gonna get worse with your family if you just curl up in a ball, all right, and not come up with any fucking solutions and just be lazy and try to find some sort of excuse. The shit ain't gonna get any better, man. It's not. It's not. All right? Gotta grab the bulls by the horn, as they say. All right? Proverbs 12:24. And look, I'm not saying some brothers might excel in these things that we were mentioning, right? But I'm not saying you have to be the fucking richest person or you have to be a goddamn bodybuilder. All right? I'm not taking it to the extremes. You're going to have a super perfect family because the scriptures speak about contentment, right? But we have to at least reach that point of contentment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't have the best situation, but I'm able to control what I'm going with. You know what I mean? So that's what the lesson is about. Okay. But you do have certain brothers that take it above and beyond. All right, that's cool. You have certain brothers that deep dive into health. Certain brothers that's super on top of their finances. Certain brothers that they got the family completely in order. The woman listening, the kids listening. All right. To the utmost extreme, that's a beautiful thing. Of course, just don't put that before the truth. But I'm saying at least have it to a level where you can say, okay, as a man that knows the scriptures, I'm governing this particular situation with wisdom. You see what I'm saying? I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm showing growth. It says, okay, Proverbs 12 and 24, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. So to be a ruler, you have to have that show of diligence, right? Our apostles and elders always great example. They are diligent. In anything they put a lesson to and put their hand to, they're very diligent in. And you know what? That diligent goes to anything. All again, topics mentioned. And why use those topics? Because that's what a lot of brothers struggle with, all right? But when you're diligent in saying, look, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna fucking lock in. All right, for example, I haven't gone without work. I'm gonna fucking lock in. I'm gonna send my resume. I'm gonna put a praise. I'm gonna go hard at that shit till I get that shit. Okay? I'm gonna invest in that. Not more than the truth, but I'm gonna invest in that. Okay, I accomplished that. Shit, man. I'm 50 pounds overweight. I'm gonna find a way to drop this weight. I'm gonna watch the videos with the apostles concerning health. I'm gonna get my diet up. All right. The house in order part. Hey, I'm not gonna say these things are easy, brothers. You know, cause you know how these women are. You know the situation. But I'm gonna try my best to, through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, and to use the wisdom of the scriptures to better that situation. You know what I mean? Okay, at least fucking try. You know what I mean? Like the scriptures is telling you, if we just be slothful, I don't give a fuck. You know, we're almost out of here. So to what the hell? That is gonna only make a situation much worse because you're not coming up with a solution. You're in fact running away from your problems. All right, and that's not kingly. That's not manly. That's not something we should be doing. We should be facing our issues and our problems head on with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and these scriptures. Okay. First Timothy 3 and 4. One that ruleth well his own house. Salakia. Okay. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. Let me read up. A bishop, First Timothy 3 and 2, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. So we have to have these qualities, okay? Being apt to teach, okay? That one wife thing is not, again, because I know they teaching that you can't have multiple wives. That's not what it's talking about. One wife it'll behoove you if you're gonna give yourself over this truth to have one wife or none, because women are very time consuming. Very time consuming creatures, man. They'll suck the masculine energy out of you. You know, if you're around them too much. You know, that same survivor, grinding, rough spirit, you're around a woman too long, she could start to take that away from you. You know, you trying to do a lesson and she's trying to cuddle up and watch a movie. Give you an example. Or, you know, you're trying to go to camp, now she's horny. Because that's Satan's tool. So, you know, it's much better to, you know, you lock in more if you don't have one, or you just have one. You know, that's what it's really going into. It's not saying that a brother can't deal with multiple women. Okay, vigilant, and we watching everything. We constantly into these prophecies. You know, constantly bringing out news and articles, and that's what we do. We're the watchmen, sober, not drunken with other philosophies. Okay, of good behavior, given to hospitality, after teach, not given to wine, nor striker. Let's see, striker. Bruiser, ready for a blow. That made me think about the IUCBK and the IUIC is always getting into fights and shit. Not greedy or filthy lucre, right? This thing is not about trying to rip people off or, you know. Yeah, I'm talking about getting your finances together, but I'm not talking about to the point where you want some fucking scheming, scamming shit, okay? It says, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, and we read that about ruling your spirit, being patient, being slow to anger, all right? One that ruleth well his own house, and that's what, again, the topic of the lesson is, okay? If we're going to be kings, If we're gonna be governors, man, damn, how you gonna be a governor ruler? You can't even fucking govern your own weight. You can't even govern and control what goes in your mouth, and it's your hands. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like we gotta get it together. Having his children in subjection, all gravity, right? So that goes to your actual children, all right? Hey, man, this goes to this thing you could apply to us in this camp, all right? The apostles and elders, those are our fathers. We're their children. They have to, they make sure that we on point. We're a reflection of them. Often you'll see, like, when you go around these different camps, whether it's IUCBK, IUIC, Great Millstone, whatever, you'll see that the people within the camp mimic a lot of their leaders, all right? Their speech patterns, their thought processes, how they go about things, and you can see when you go Great Millstone, we're very diligent. We do a wide array of topics, such as this topic, which is to build, edify up a man, okay? And first and foremost, we get into prophecies, okay? So this whole thing was about, letting brothers know, look, you have to learn how to govern these different aspects of things that we trouble with in the world, okay? It's a part of the growth, right? For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High? And that's pretty much self-explanatory. How you gonna govern and rule people, and govern them on things that you can't even control? So, or learn, or how can you govern people on things that you can't control? That you need governing in. So we got to get it together, be on point with all these things, and that's just a little lesson I wanted to do out there. So I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rahakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone with true well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.